welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and roll your notifications to all so you don't miss any of the demonic content.
So spirits are non-binary. They're transgender. They live on a spectrum. True or false? In the Bible, angels never show up to have sexual relations. Holy angels never show up to have sexual relations with human beings. True or false? True.
Did you see him pull a fast one here? He said first, quote, angels never show up to have sexual relations with human beings. False. Widely interpreted as angels, the sons of God from Genesis 6 do show up and do the hanky-panky with human women. So then he corrects himself and says, no holy angels. But presumably these angels were holy before said hanky-panky. That is, they were capable of reproduction when they were holy, and it was carrying out the reproductive act which caused them to become unholy. You might try to argue that somehow these weren't holy angels to begin with, but then we'd have to explain why the same term is clearly used of holy angels in Job.
Demons often show up to be involved in sexual relations between human beings. True or false? True.
Again, kind of a fast one here. If we assume that he's thinking something like, well, those sons of God who showed up are now demons, well, then it's true, but only in that one instance. More accurately, false. Later Christian interpreters will read demons as threatening sexual creatures, but I can't think of a time in the Bible when demons have sex with humankind.
So God made us in his image and likeness, and demons want us to remake ourselves in their image and likeness. To become non-binary, transgender, on a spectrum, which means we must castrate the men. We see this interaction between human beings and unholy divine beings in Genesis 6. It says that the sons of God, that's language from Job chapter 38, for divine beings. They sought to mate with the daughters of men, those are human beings, to create a super race that would be a counterfeit of the incarnation of Jesus Christ, spiritual father, but a physical mother.
Whoa, hold on. Let's back the train up to the station for just a minute. This idea of a super race is not in Genesis 6 anywhere, and it's reading way too much post-New Testament material into the text to have any validity. Again, could you say that this is a theological position that depends upon interpretation? Sure, but then you actually have to call that out.
So, let me go deeper. So I was sitting on my vacation, and I'd never heard this or read this my whole life, that the demonic realm is transgender, non-binary, on a spectrum, and that men who are going to serve the Jezebel spirit have to be castrated and become defiant of their God-assigned gender and sex.
Serve the Jezebel spirit. Where does the Jezebel spirit come from here? As I've noted elsewhere, I've never seen a reference to the Jezebel spirit as a demon before the 20th century, with most of them being concentrated in the 90s through today. As I've also pointed out elsewhere, this is dangerous language that can incite violence and needs to be curbed.
In the ancient world, there was a cult, a religion that worshiped a female deity named Cybele. I believe behind it was Jezebel. In various cultures, the worship of a female deity is also called the Anatolian mother goddess, Cybele, Agdesis, Rhea, Meter Theon, and Magna Mater. Now here's what's interesting. In the history of the world, and I'll read it from a non-Christian textbook in a moment, wherever the worship of a female deity spread, the high priests and those who worshiped her were men who had to be castrated, transgender, wear women's clothes, makeup, and hair, and go out in public singing and dancing for all ages shows as drag queens. New days, old demons.
False. There are plenty of religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Shinto, others, which all have female deities, and castration is not a compulsory element. I think we're mistaking the option of castration here with the necessity of castration. Of course, if we make that mistake, it would then lead us to conclude that there's a necessity of castration in Christianity. After all, enough Christians pursued the option in the ancient world that the Council of Nicaea had to explicitly ban it.